True taste, starting at $1. Rallies and Checkers.
Epic meals, epic deals.
You're watching Focus on South Florida.
Welcome back to Focus. Chances are you did not go to sleep hungry last night, but 1 in 4 children in South Florida did, according to the organization Feeding South Florida. And nearly 900,000 people here don't know where they'll get their next meal. Hunger is South Florida's invisible problem. Feeding South Florida's mission is to end hunger. So how does the nonprofit attempt to do that? Please welcome to Focus Paco Velez and Pedro Aquino. Paco is the president and CEO of Feeding South Florida. Pedro is representing Miami Bethany Church of the Nazarene, which receives food from the nonprofit. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
All right, so this is called South Florida's invisible problem. I mean, we see the fancy restaurants and there's a lot of money in South Florida, but we're not really understanding what's going on with so many people here and what they're struggling with. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So you're absolutely right. We live in a paradise. Destination spot for many people across the country and across the world. However, there's a part of South Florida that a lot of people don't see. And those are working families that really have low-paying jobs or low-wage earners, and they're really struggling to make ends meet with the high cost of living, yet the low wages. And so what we're doing is trying to fill the gaps. So Feeding South Florida, along with Pedro and 359 other partner agencies across South Florida, are helping to feed some of those families who are struggling to put food on the table.
And Pedro, tell us what you're seeing. You see a lot of people who are in need. Is it increasing? Is it decreasing? Are you seeing any new trends? What are you experiencing with the people you serve?
With the help of Feeding South Florida, we're making a dent in our community. It's really hard saying that there's a change because there's really a problem out there. There's a problem that is going on constantly, where we see different families every single week where they're coming in. So sometimes we see them go and we don't follow up, we don't have any contact with them, but the families are continually coming. So it's a problem that's out there that we're trying to put a dent on, but it's very hard.
The need is great.
The need is great. And
it particularly affects elderly people and children, right?
Those are our vulnerable populations, the senior population as well as our children, but it's our working families who are really struggling. So $8.05 an hour is the minimum wage here in Florida, but it's still not enough. With a lot of families now making $8.05, which is a little bit higher than the national minimum wage, it's really put people outside of the eligibility criteria for food stamps, or what's called SNAP now, as well as free lunch. Mm-hmm. So once they increase their benefit or their minimum wage, they've lost thousands of dollars in benefits, which is now having them rely a lot more on organizations like Pedro's.
Mm-hmm. Kind of falling in between the gaps there.
Correct.
And tell us exactly how the organization works.
So for us, we're a food bank. We rescue food. We get food from those who have it, and we get it to those who need it through agencies like Pedro's. But we also work with other nonprofits, and we help families with after-school, or children with after-school meals. We help children with summer food, breakfast and lunch, and we also do what's called a backpack program, and that's put together little Ziploc bags full of 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches, and 2 dinners, and slip those in a backpack so the kids who are not eating over the weekend so they can have something to eat. Along with that, we also help families navigate through the federal benefit applications, which is SNAP, Medicaid, WIC, and things like that. So we really do a lot around food rescue, but then wrap around services to help families really build a solid foundation of support to get them to a better place.
And when you talk about food rescue, a lot of us throw away food every day. Leftovers, maybe we'll take something home from the restaurant and not eat it. What would you say to people who are throwing away food or wasting food? Because that's where you get a lot of your food, right? From organizations who are about to throw it away.
It's really, we work with a lot of growers. We're blessed to have farmers in Palm Beach County as well as Miami-Dade County, and in Florida alone, over 300 million pounds of produce goes to waste every single year. So our job is to go out there and educate the growers and the farmers to say, donate as much as you possibly can. So last year we rescued over 20 million pounds of fresh produce, along with another 20 million pounds of shelf-stable product to get it out to the families. But yes, we work with over 480 retail outlets across South Florida, including Publix, Target, Winn-Dixie, Sam's, and Walmart, but also with the restaurants. You know, what are you guys doing? The catering companies, the banquet facilities, what are you guys doing with that food? And can we help steer that towards families who are struggling.
And what can the average person do to get involved? I know you have an event coming up.
We do. We have a Wine in the Warehouse coming up. We also have a 5K March 12th in Hollywood. But really, I like to tell people there's a place at the table for everybody to get involved. No matter what you do, who you are, even you're here, you're interviewing us, and really sharing or raising awareness about the issue of hunger in South Florida, which is really swept under the rug. Not so much swept under the rug, but it's really hidden. So anybody can get involved by volunteering, by starting a food and or fund drive, or really just coming out and understanding what we do and being a voice for our families.
And Pedro, what would you say for someone who wanted to get involved and knowing where that help is going with the people you serve?
To just do it. This is something that is going to help a lot of people that are in need, and just don't think about it. The food that you think that it might not be good, it is good. We could use it to help other families, and like us, we do this on a weekly event. We're here every week. We serve particular communities in Alapata. We do it on Sundays from 6:30 to 7:30, and we're always here.
You're always ready for help.
Yes.
And tell us one more time about the walk, how people can find out more information.
Go to feedingsouthflorida.org, and there's plenty of information on everything that we're doing, including the Outrun Hunger 5K.
All right. Thank you both for being here. We appreciate having you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And don't go away. Focus. We'll be right back.